What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Investing Bros. It is Monday, July 24th, and we've got a great show lined up for you guys today. Just as we predicted last week, that weekly close for Bitcoin was going to be very important, and if we could not turn it back green, we could see that dip, and sure enough, we did not have to wait long. We closed last week's candle red. We are down low this morning, touching towards lower $29,000 level. And others, and potentially what was the biggest cause? Was it this new rebranding of Twitter to X? And is Elon right that potentially we could see Twitter, or now X, become 50% of the global financial system? We're covering that and a whole lot more in this video, so make sure you go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you love crypto, if you love Bitcoin, if you love stocks. If you love X, you definitely want to go ahead and smash that like button as we get in and on here. I'm going to introduce my co-host this morning, Mr. T. Shroom, the Florida man. Shroomy, how are you doing this morning?
Oh, man. Tim, I'm doing better than I deserve. I got to be honest with you. I have had a great weekend. Lots of rest, lots of time with family. Where do we eat? Wait at a little place called Bahama Breeze. Maybe you have that chain in the city you live in. I know it's a national chain, so got to enjoy a little bit of that. Got some new NFTs behind me in my room here in my studio.
Oh, what we got back here? Let's walk through it. What do we got behind you?
We got some 88 inmates, and also we have I don't know if it's Bored Ape Yacht Club, but it looks like it. So
I think it is,
it was not confirmed whether or not it was, so I have no idea. But
if it's not, then it's a ripoff. That's
Exactly.
I mean, that's what those are supposed to look like. So
right, which ripoff might be a strong word because some people are very invested in their NFT projects. But there you go. It looks like a Bored Ape Yacht, and it smells like one too. If you smell it here, I do have the quote for today is from Harvey Specter, from a TV show of which I do not know, but I did like the quote, which says, "I do not have dreams, I have goals." Because if you leave your dreams as dreams and you don't attach any kind of like to-do list, any kind of task list, then they just remain dreams. That's why you got to make them goals. But some people make them goals and then just stay goals. And so maybe it's just a cycle that's never ending. What do you think about that one, Tim?
It says, I don't have dreams, I have goals.
Yes.
I mean, to be fair, I'm trying to work this out in my head, because a dream, we're not talking about dreams like dreaming at nighttime. We're talking about dreams of like what you see in the future. Is it not kind of like a redundant statement? Isn't a dream a goal? Like, what's the difference here? I guess I got to see some definitions before I can make a final statement on this one.
It's what Shia LaBeouf said, right, in the Just Do It video, is don't let your dreams be dreams. Because if they're dreams,
right,
you may never achieve them.
But that's what he's saying is, don't let your nighttime imagination stay in nighttime imagination. Let it become your dream, as in your goal. So, like, that's what I'm saying here. The context of the quote, he's not talking about your nighttime imagination, because he can't control whether he has a nighttime imagination. He's talking about his goals. So he's saying, I don't have goals, I have goals, is kind of what I'm taking away from this quote.
Yeah, I think this is the quintessential example of a semantics type of situation here. Goals and dreams and goals. What can be made to mean out of this? We don't know, but we do know that there's some economic stuff going on. What about that?
we don't try to jump the gun here and get away from the thought of the day here. T-Shroom, brought to you guys by Dwight Schrute. Nothing stresses me out except having to seek the approval of my inferiors. That's going to relate probably pretty heavily to people like Elon Musk and other things today. This one makes more sense to me though, T-Shroom. I clearly understand it. It's not a redundant thought. There's no words in here that really need strong definition. I guess you could say what is stress and what is inferiors, maybe, or what is approval. But that's pretty clear, cut and dry here. Thought of the day. Let me know in chat what stresses you guys out for sure. And also, T-Shroom, we're just trying to skip through the show. Here's another. I think later on the show, I want to rehash this. Before the show, so everyone knows, we planned this together. T-Shroom and I were having quite the debate.
We were.
on a couple different topics,
We
actually.
were.
I don't know how much of that we'll be able to get into later in the show, but I'm sure it'll come up in one way or another. Just so you guys know, you don't have to agree with everything that people say to love them. You can love people and be friends and disagree very strongly. T-Shroom and I are a great example of that with some of our pre-show conversations. But before we get into our economic update here, T-Shroom, we've got to read names. Otherwise, we're going to have some problems here in stream. And I'm really hoping that this YouTube glitch has figured it out. I think what's happening, according to people, is it's acting like the stream is over. So if you guys get kicked out for any reason on the stream today, come back. I know some people are saying they're being redirected to other videos, other channels. Come back into Investing Bros. We're not ending streams early. We will be ending at 10 a.m. here in a little less than an hour from now. Don't let YouTube fudge you out of watching Investing Bros. But let's read some names here in chat this morning. Gia S was first. With that green name, followed by Mike Play. So congratulations to the first two. They actually go back and forth. They had themselves a little conversation in chat before anyone else here joined. Third place was Crypto Ben Franklin, everyone's favorite non-president, followed by our first Blue Wrench, Army Piper. Welcome, Piper. Good to see you in chat here. Who else is here this morning? Crypto JMP is here. Mr. J is here. Justin Eubanks, Curtis Rorick, Remington Peralt. Let's see who else. Joe Nickel is here. T-Shroom with the Blue Wrench in chat. Coming in late, though, T-Shroom. Coming in late. To be fair, I don't think I've even commented yet in this video, so I'm super late. Who else do we have? Elo Brown with another Blue Wrench is here. Let's keep scrolling. RSan246. Welcome. Who else we have? A Mellow Fellow with the Blue Wrench in chat. Definitely coming in late for a Mellow Fellow. He's usually up there in the top 3, top 5 at the worst, but this morning, sleeping in this morning. What happened? You read something?
Jack had a pretty good quote down in the chat.
We'll have to get down to Jack. Sativio Shimoto is here. Ninja Glock is here. Nancy Croy is here. Eric Wallen is here. Brian D. Let's get a couple more here, and then we'll move on. I guess we'll read the Jack quote. Average Crypto Joe, Degen Tolman, Rick Wilson, Donato Cabrera, Juice Toes. And then we have some super chats here as well from Army Piper saying dreams are the vision, goals are the roadmap to reach your dreams. They go hand in hand. Interesting thought there. Dreams are the vision, goals are the roadmap to reach your dreams. Maybe, but in that case,
maybe
I think the quote should be the other way around then, that you have dreams. Because like so even with what Piper's saying here, a goal without a dream is worthless because the goals are simply the roadmap. If you don't have an end destination, what's the point of the roadmap? Am I right? So good clarification there, Piper, but I still stand that quote was a little bit I don't know if I agree with it. Here we go. He gave another super chat saying, I used to tell my subordinate leaders, make sure to turn around every now and then and check to make sure your soldiers are still following you. That's a good point right there. All right. Where is this Jack? I don't know if I see it. So you're going to have to read the Jack quote, T-Shroom. What are you seeing that's making you bust out laughing out loud?
Oh, no. Jack said, I know the stream is over when I wake up.
Yeah.
Just pretty funny.
Wow.
So there, for those of you who are new, Jack Meoffer, I think he's German. He's kind of got this running joke that he thinks our show is a bore and that it's terrible. Yeah. He's our resident troll, folks. For those of you who are familiar with the term troll, that is he.
He is the stream troll. You have to pay a tax every time you cross his bridge. He says a spirit with a vision is a dream with a mission. There's a lot to break down there. I'm not even going to try. Let's go ahead and move on into the rest of the show here. Guys, if I did not read your name, I'm sure there was a lot of you. It is not because I don't love you. It's because it's time to move on into the show and talk some crypto, talk some stocks, talk some investing. But we're going to start off here with our economic outlook. Go ahead and share my screen here. Let's take a look. There's not a whole lot that's highlighted until Wednesday. Of course, guys, Wednesday is the big day that we look forward to every single month. And despite the fact that we used to care about what the numbers being announced were, now it's really all about that 2:30 meeting where Jerome Powell gets to speak. So, of course, guys, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday Wednesday, we will get the next number. Hint, hint, guys, it's going to be 25 basis point rate hike. That I do believe is baked in. Any other price action that is coming from Bitcoin is going to be coming because of something else. Then at 2:30, it will be very interesting to hear how Jerome Powell speaks about the future. Is he a little optimistic? Is he still bearish? Is he still hawkish? Is his plan to raise it another 3 times? We'll have to wait and see what he does, but that speech will be way more important than the actual number, and it's been that way now for the last couple of meetings. Some other big things we're looking at this week. Thursday on the 27th, we're looking at the EU here deposit facility rate. ECB interest rate decision, that could be really big here. 4% was the previous. The consensus is it's going to be 4.25. So they're going to raise it 25 basis points. At this point is their expectation. We will have to wait and see about that. Back over here in the U.S., we will get reports about durable goods month over month, and we will get GDP growth rate quarter over quarter advance. At this point, it is not looking like any of these durable good orders. I have to look more into these and whether what we want them to do, but they are predicting that they will be dropping this month compared to last one, or this one's a quarter. This quarter will be dropped compared to last quarter. This month will be dropped compared to last month. Anything else important this week? The ECB press conference, no expectation. There's just a press conference you guys should know about. And Friday, back here in the United States, core PCE, that's going to be very, very important. It is expected to drop. That is a very good sign, but we'll have to wait to see what the actual is to get a detail there. I wonder how much what Jerome Powell does on Wednesday will affect that. Personal spending is expected to rise, but we're going to wait on that one for Friday morning. And the last one, personal income expected to slightly rise. Consensus, it'll slightly rise. Forecasted to stay the same right there at 0.4%. So make sure you guys are back here on Friday to get those updates. Let's take a look at our liquidations this morning. And of course, with Elon being back in the headlines, and this massive jump from Twitter to X, Dogecoin is leading the way with $1.15 million of short liquidations. Guys, here in a second, we're going to look at the crypto market. Dogecoin is like almost, I think there's a couple other coins that are technically up, but Dogecoin is one of the very few. Bitcoin, of course, with that big dip, is leading the long liquidations up to 664,000. Again, that's nothing necessarily crazy high, but it is enough. And of course, it was definitely enough to push us down below that strong support we've had for over 6 weeks. Now, you might be wondering, WLD, what is WLD? Well, this is one of the coins that are sparking a T-Shroom and Tim debate this morning. This is WorldCoin. We're going to talk more about that later. I might try to keep the TA shorter because there's actually a couple different debates and discussions T-Shroom and I were having that I think you guys might want to be a part of. So we'll keep TA a little shorter this morning. XRP, of course, with some short liquidations, excuse me, only 169,000, so nothing major. It's down a lot this morning. Of course, almost everything except for Dogecoin is down this morning. That's our liquidations here. We did tick a little higher in Trueflation. You guys can see we got all the way down here. What was the lowest we actually got to? 2.1% here for Trueflation. We are back up to 2.4, only 0.01 up on the day. But of course, over the last 2 days, we've had some bigger spikes here in Trueflation. Nothing necessarily major, nothing to freak out about, but did want to update you on that. Of course, we're sitting here 99.8% positive. We're going to go ahead and get that 25 basis points, but we're looking to be about the same. It looks like still this is what the CME group is predicting will be the highest we go. And in March, they're still predicting with a 39.5% chance. So not necessarily a lot of confidence here, but it's the highest prediction that we should in March get our first rate cut there. Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, guys, it is up at 55 today, but that is because they only update these once a day. You guys can see right here, next update, we still have 10 hours. It comes out at about 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, the dip on Bitcoin did not happen until 5 a.m. this morning. So despite the fact that we are higher on the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index right now than we were on Friday, the price is down low. Very much expect a dip down into the 40s. I think that we could maybe even, this is an interesting prediction, T-Shirt. I wonder what you think. I think that we could see tomorrow morning when we wake up, or tonight at 8 p.m., I think we could see a 40, I'm going to say 45 on the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index. I think it's going to be a big drop because the price did a big drop. We're about to jump onto those charts here in just a second. But T-Shirt, what are you expecting? Tomorrow when we do the show, what do you think Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index will be at?
I think it's tough. I mean, you have to have I know that the Fear and Greed Index takes into consideration like spikes in media in like blogs and articles about Bitcoin, and there's not really anything bearish about Bitcoin. It's mostly just, which is more than likely whale movement, a little bit of retail movement. So I would say 40. I would say we're not going to leave the 50s. Let's put it there. I think we'll stay in the 50s. That's my bet.
One more thing that T-Shroom and I disagree on. Listen, 50 was what we hit when we were down like at 29,700. Currently, Bitcoin is sitting at 29.2. I think there's a chance we drop a little bit lower. That's my reason. I think Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index. Write this down, everybody. Write this down for tomorrow morning. Where will Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index be? Tim says 45. T-Shroom says 50. We will go with the good old classic. Who is closer? No over or unders. Just who is closer to the right score. This new competition between me and T-Shroom will get some spice to it. Let's keep moving on here. Before we jump into the charts, go ahead and share my screen once again here. Let's talk about coin market caps. Biggest gainers, biggest losers here. A lot you guys see. I'm going to start off here in the top 10. You guys will see everything in the last 24 hours is in the red, save for Dogecoin, up 5.22%. It is not going to be the biggest gainer unless something has updated here. Yeah, Trust Wallet token is up 8.16% this morning. It's the only thing outpacing Dogecoin. And I do wonder, with this WLD coin, World Coin, T-Shroom and I are not certain. So if someone else in chat knows this answer or could verify it for us, I'm wondering if Trust Wallet is one of the ways people can get a hold of WorldCoin. WorldCoin is not here on CoinMarketCap, but it is, according to T-Shroom, at least kind of taking this morning by storm with its new launch. We will talk more about WorldCoin at the end of the show, so stick around if you're interested in that. But I'm wondering, guys, let me know, is Trust Wallet involved? Can you use Trust Wallet to be purchasing WorldCoin, and is that the reason why it's up so high this morning? Dogecoin makes a lot of sense that it's up over 5% because of Elon, but look at the next one. After those top two, the next highest gainer, 0.52%. The next highest gainer, 0.41%. Then you start to get into DAOs and stable coins. So that just tells you how bearish of a day we're in when stable coins are some of the biggest movers. That's not a good sign. Let's take a look at the biggest losers. It's not necessarily overwhelmingly a big red day either. Pepe leads the way at 8.18%. Sui down 8%. Compound down 8%. Toncoin down almost 8% here. Let's see if there's anything. Render token right here. A lot of people like Render, bullish on Render long term, but it's down 5.82%. Gala down 5%. Maker down 5.5%. So a lot of different coins. XRP down 5%. Man, a lot of coins down 5%. 5% seems to be the magic number this morning. That's kind of our market open here for coins. Let's take a look now at the charts here. Guys, remember, this chart section is brought to you guys by Chart Prime, a partner of the channel. The best indicators out there if you are looking to up your trading game. Make sure to go check out the link down below. They have phenomenal indicators like these oscillators. All three of these oscillators are killers at helping you predict the next movements. Then these indicators as well are phenomenal, helping you choose support and resistance level. But you got to go get it with the link down below. With our link, you get 45% off your first month or your first quarter. Go act on that now. Guys, we are looking, let's go down to the 4-hour chart so we can see this a little more dramatically. Let me pull down my oscillators for just a second. We, for the last 6 weeks, were trading in this really boring range between about 29,700, and we did have some wicks go higher, but in reality, we kind of stayed as a whole below the $31,300 level. We have now broken out, but instead of breaking to the upside, it did break to the downside. This is another moment. Again, I told you guys, when I get things wrong, I'm going to tell you I got things wrong. This is one that I got right, and I told you guys about this last week. Those of you who watch daily know this. I said, let's see what this weekly candle does, because when you pull up the oscillators here, when you're looking, and sure enough there, Chart Prime went ahead and printed a bearish divergence for us, one of the major assets. But even taking a look at the RSI, let's put these down for just a second. I only want to look at the RSI. You guys can clearly see the candles on the RSI go lower, despite the fact that the candles on the price action go higher. A lot of people were calling bearish divergence after this first red candle, and I said, hey, we got to pause there for just a second. You want to see kind of a confirmation of a downward move after an explosive month. Sometimes you do see a red candle just because the price is bouncing out. But I said, after we followed that red candle with another green one, this last week was very important about what the future of Bitcoin's price would do. And sure enough, it closed red. Guys, within the first day, we're talking about this red candle right here. This weekly candle closed last night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we already are creating a decent-sized red candle this week. Some price action that I am looking for going back down to the daily chart. Watch my new T-box. We got a lot of T-boxes here. I'm going to go ahead and leave them all up, but my new T-box, as Piper has termed it, is sitting down here as high as about 28,600 all the way down towards 28,000 even. The reason for this is I'm looking especially at this resistance candle we had back here on the 29th of May. I think that's another good price action that we could be seeing Bitcoin drop down to. You're going to see the top level of this also after breaking through both the 4-hour and 12-hour strong support levels. The next one we're seeing right here, number 2 on the 12-hour, is all the way down here at 28,600. So this is definitely one of the things we are keeping an eye on here. So matching that point with this chart prime support level, matching that with candle body closes here on the daily chart all the way down at 28,000 back on May 30th. This is one of the things that I'm kind of watching out for. Do not be surprised to see the price not necessarily make a beeline, but slowly but surely make its way sideways, and we come back down and touch this blue line before taking another a rally here on Bitcoin. One of the reasons why I don't think it's going to keep dropping very fast is because despite the fact, let me pull back up my oscillators here. You guys know that I, Tim Warren, love me some oscillators. We are dipping down low, but we're not quite overextended just yet. I am waiting on the daily chart. I want to see, I haven't gone off my drawings here, so that's going to give me a little bit of problems. I am waiting for us to get back to being oversold before I'm confident about a daily bounce, and we are not getting that. The RSI is still sitting above 30. The oscillators on chart prime are still not giving us any oversold flashes. However, when we jump down to the 4-hour chart, you are going to see some oversold flashes. You are going to see some super low RSI levels. So I do think that temporarily, maybe even the rest of this week, we kind of find some support, maybe make a bounce. Don't even be surprised, guys, if we make a pushback in price back up to these former support levels around 29,700, but this time turning them into resistance before we make our way down. In fact, T-shirt, I'll make a note of this. We're going to talk more about this probably tomorrow over on our tactical trades on Tuesday. I might look to enter a short on Bitcoin. I might be putting an entry somewhere around 29,700. Maybe I'll even put it down here towards these wicks around 29,500. Either way, I am not longing Bitcoin anytime in the next couple of days, if not week or two. I do expect price to move to the downside, but do not be surprised again with seeing bullish 4 hours, seeing a bullish 1 hour. Don't be surprised to see price at worst trade sideways here for a couple of days, if not make a rebound that fakes a bunch of traders out, making them think, oh, here we go. We're heading back up. We're going to get back up to 30,000. But it's only to return to that door we just busted through and turn that former support into resistance. The good news, like I said, guys, this is all on shorter time frames. The daily chart, I do think your next buy or long on Bitcoin should be when we see some buy flashes on the daily chart, because I do still think with this rising blue level of support, with the fact that we have some pretty strong support in this area, I do think that we're going to see a bounce, a rebound. But don't be surprised to see the bearish action come in first. Let's take a look right here, guys, at XRP this morning. Sitting right on a very important level, a key level. Yes, we have a wick that broke through, but I want to see what happens with candle body closes. You guys know that I'm one of the few out there. I do think the list is rising. I do think more and more technical analysts are joining my team. But you guys let me know in chat. Had you heard anyone talk about a revisit of 55 cents on XRP before me? I definitely did not, but I am starting to see, after a lot of people just said up and away, they're changing their predictions and saying, oh, no, it's looking like 64 to 55 cents could be a very good range. Guys, right now we are sitting on the 0.382 Fibonacci from the macro. If I were to go out to the weekly chart, you guys know, you've been watching this channel, I've talked very heavily about this. If you were to go back right here to the high of November 21, yes, we're not going back to all-time highs or any highs we had during this last bull market. I wanted to use the same levels, the same timeline as what we're using with a lot of other coins like Bitcoin or Ethereum, where the highs were in November of 21. So you go from that high down to the recent bottoms, the bear market bottoms, and you can see we have been playing these levels perfectly after rejecting right off the bottom of our golden pocket. just as I predicted, we came back down within the next couple of days. Let's go down on the daily chart. We did not close any candles. We bounced off of our 0.382, came back up, and despite the fact that Wix got to 85 cents, closed our daily candles here at 82 cents, the 0.5 level on Fibonacci, and now we are re-wrestling with this lower level right here down towards 69 cents. If we can hold this level, we potentially are just watching XRP bounce between these two levels of 69 cents and 82 cents. But if we lose this level, I do not expect us to come all the way back down to the 0.232. I'm expecting us to come back down in the range of 57 to 55 cents. You guys can see since the beginning of XRP's price action, this has been a very significant level of support, of resistance. The reason I'm doing a zone here and not just saying 55 cents even is sometimes coins do that where they get, you pick a target, they hear a lot of people saying that number 55 cents and it ends up falling just short. I will be buying some more XRP, not even entering a long. I just want to buy. My next big buy on XRP is going to be here at 57 cents, even if we dip down to 55, even if we come down to 54 and touch that 0.236. I don't think we will, but I'm going to have a safe level for me to buy just in case we only wick down to 57, maybe 56, and then start a new rally. I am still bullish on XRP, guys. Look at how amazing this would be after a whole year of refusing to get above that 55 cent level. How bullish would that be to come back down, turn that resistance into support, and then continue our move to the upside and new all-time highs coming your way very, very soon. What time do we have here? 9:26. You know what I'm going to do, T-Shroom? We're going to go ahead and end the technical analysis right here. We're going to jump into some community so we can very quickly get into our market open and headlines, because I want to save as much time for discussion and debate as possible, because I love me a good debate on any crypto show. So starting off here, community. T-Shroom, what do we have coming up this week that people need to know about?
Oh, man, we've got some big stuff coming up, Tim. The biggest thing by far is Evan Aldo is going to be joining Investing Bros July 26th. I don't know that I could be any more excited than I am about this. You know, this is big. This is huge for the channel, and Evan Aldo is great. Yeah. So are you excited?
Dude, I can't wait. Evan Aldo, for anyone who doesn't know, Aldo. I'm thinking Algorand, you know.
Evan
Yeah.
Algo.
Maybe he's gonna change his name. Maybe he's bullish. We need to ask
He
him. That's
trades
one
like an algo
Hey, see what you did there.
in a good way.
He is the technical analyst for Paul Barron. You guys know that we love Paul Barron here at the Investing Bros, have a good connection relationship with them over there. So cannot wait to get his take over here. Definitely going to ask him his opinions on Solana, because it seems like every time I go over on Paul Barron's show, he asks me about Solana, and I try to keep it as unbiased as possible, just looking at the charts. But you guys know I'm not a fan of Solana, and I get a lot of flack from his community about that. So I wonder what Evan's thoughts are. Has he learned to just, pacify the audience and talk good about Solana, or does he keep it real and is he negative? I want to see. I'm a fan of controversy too. I'm a fan of ruffling feathers. I love people. I love you guys, but I will always speak the truth and I'll always speak my mind, even if you guys don't like it. That's just how I am. It's according to my mom, that's how I've been since birth. But we got some other updates coming for you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be a fun day because all of our silver and gold and diamond members will get to be in our bro time here on YouTube for paid members. But we're gonna do a special edition of Hot Ones where every 5 to 10 minutes, T-Shroom and I will be taking on a new level of heat with some wings. We're gonna be answering your guys' questions, talking about crypto, but also trying to survive the spice while doing it. You don't want to miss it. I do think I heard this morning T-Shroom cheated. He's been tasting and testing some of these hot sauces already because he's a sucker. You guys are going to watch me. I will have never tasted any of those hot sauces live. I've never tasted them before, so you will watch me live react. I will have a bucket just in case of puking. I will have milk just in case of anything crazy happening. But you got to be a member to watch that stream, so make sure you tune in. And the last one is from here on out, guys. Wednesday nights will be our new times every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to do our Twitter Spaces, our weekly Twitter Spaces with Investing Bros. So make sure you put it on your calendar. You tune in every single week. Support us as we grow. It's not Twitter Spaces anymore. It's X Spaces. X Spaces, and that means are we going to space with it? Because
I don't know, man.
There's a lot of
I have a
X's
lot of
out
questions about the X Twitter situation.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about that here in just a little bit, but it is 9:29. We're about to jump into the stock market open. We got over 160 people watching right now. I think I've seen it as high as 170. Thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone. I forgot to announce at the beginning of the show. We're only at 76 likes, guys. But I want to give away some memberships. So if we get 20 subscribers during this live show, I will be giving away 5 memberships. If we get to 150 likes, which is clearly enough people right now, all you got to do for free, smash that like button, and I will give away 2 free memberships for you guys to come in and watch that show tomorrow, as hopefully neither one of us dies from the hot sauce. But you got to help us out. You got to get us those likes and subscriptions up. With that said, T Shroom, as we're entering into the market open, it is now officially 9:30. What are we seeing over there
On the stock market?
old stock market?
Let's take a look at the stock market, actually, because there are some things that are moving. There are some things that are grooving.
Ooh,
And my trading view tab has not even been opened yet. So that is pretty crazy, guys.
that's not what you want.
I was looking at all the charts on my other computer, of which I have 37 computers in my house.
Oh, wow.
Not really.
Well, it makes sense with all that room you have behind you. It would make sense
Yeah.
you have that many rooms for that many computers.
Yep. So behind the board 8, I've got
Yeah.
a gaming station, which
Solid.
and then behind the ADA inmates, I also have got another gaming station, and then behind this wall here, it leads into a basketball court, and I have gaming stations all around the basketball court.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So you're like you have like a Kobe style mansion.
Well, I would say I have more of a Shaquille O'Neal style mansion.
That's still
It's
pretty
more
impressive.
more of a
Still pretty impressive.
more Shaquille chic. So, all right, let's take a look here at the stock market, guys. The market de la stocks is pumping. Let's take a look at the indexes first. I've got Bitcoin pulled up here. Maybe you've heard of it, but it's a little coin that's kind of on the rise. NASDAQ, Dow Jones, S&P, they're all looking green to me. NASDAQ's up 0.4% there. So really rocking now it's down. But yeah, all coming in kind of with some continuity here. Market coming in, marching in lockstep up 0.3%. We'll check back on that as we get through some of these other names. Natural gas coming down quite a bit here, or actually quite modestly, while as oil is surging up a little bit, 0.7. And my language is so extreme this morning. I don't know. I got to get it under control before we get to our debate later. But taking a look here at the crypto, it's pretty much red across the screen. Yeah, seeing some bloodshed here in the crypto watch list. Compound down 6%, Litecoin down 4%, XRP and XLM both down more than 5.5% there. Let's keep moving, guys. Right, Pepe down to 0.000013. So it's going on sale. Everything's going on sale today. SNEC down 16%. So you're seeing a lot of stuff on sale this morning, guys. If you've got your hodl bags in USDC and you're ready to pull the trigger, now might be not a terrible time. I mean, compared to last week when prices were higher. So that's a statement I can get behind at least.
Yeah.
Gold coming up 0.07%, and silver actually selling off 1% there. Mega cap tech stocks kind of showing maybe where money is funneling this morning. Google up 2.3%. So Google's probably got some headlines I haven't seen quite yet. Then you take a look here at Tesla down 1.4%. And the majority of your mega cap tech stocks, including Amazon, Apple, and Microsoft, all green. Oracle, AMD are red. NVIDIA is up 1% there. Taking a look at bonds, you're seeing those yields come down a little bit on the later dates. And on the early dates, the yields are actually coming up. So yeah, that's not what you want to see in terms of a yield curve. But hey, it's the wacky world of American bonds. Taking a look here at your mid-cap stocks, you're seeing a little bit of mixture here, but mostly selling off. This is just my watch list, by no means a comprehensive mid-cap tech stock watch list, but you are seeing Hood remain green. C3.ai was green there for a second before it went red. So you're not seeing a strong rotation into mid-caps, mostly mega-caps, and mostly Google. Also, your big banks are getting a nice little rotation in, some fresh blood. Bank of America up 0.3%, Goldman Sachs up 0.4%. You got your big oil here also up on that news that oil is going higher here in the first couple minutes here of the trading session, only the 4 minutes into it, and we're already seeing a couple of things to summarize. Let's see, and then your crypto miners not doing well this morning at all, not reacting well, with Hut selling off 4%, leading the market lower, and Marathon and CleanSpark both down more than 3%. CleanSpark down 3.5. So again, you can look at this two ways, guys. You can either look at it with some fear and some panic. Oh, I got to sell, right? Or you can say, hey, these names are on discount, and these are some names that I've been seeing go up, 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 up week after week, and now they're looking like maybe they're on discount. Good time to potentially enter a trade or even enter a long position. Well, that's going to go ahead and round out our market open. I'd say swinging back by the indexes, they're pretty much unchanged from the first minute, but it's actually the S&P that's in the lead right now, up 0.4% there. So there's not much to conclude with that, with the S&P kind of being the middle index. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and move it into the middle. Boom. Now life is all complete. The stars are aligned. What do you think about that, Tim? You think that there's anything really to pull away from that market open, or is it pretty much as I was saying?
I think, I don't look at this again. It's interesting. We definitely, man.
I'm going to go to your screen.
That's very interesting to see the stock market opening higher, because even though we know that there's been a little bit more of a difference between crypto and stocks, that S&P 500 opening higher than the previous close. You guys remember here, guys, Friday we closed all the way down at 45.30, 36 or so, give or take. And we opened higher and are moving to the upside this morning. So that's a little interesting when you're seeing crypto to the downside. I guess I'll leave it at this. We need to see how it plays out the rest of the day, but I am pleasantly surprised with how stocks are moving this morning after seeing how crypto moved. But again, that could have a lot to do. Maybe this is further confirmation that the crypto dip has a lot more to do with the Elon news than it does with actual, just regular investing as a whole. Crypto today down on the X update to Twitter. We'll probably have to continue to wait and see how that's going to play out. But clearly, if this was a thing that was Jerome Powell, if there's any new fear about what Jerome Powell is going to do on Wednesday, we would see the stock market dipping as well, and that's not the case. So you're starting to be able to do some better math here and say this is a crypto-specific dip. That is good sign, because I do believe that could mean that a bounce is coming in the near future. But we'll have to wait and see for that confirmation, T-Shroom.
Yeah, personally, I want it to go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off. I want to see us go back and touch that. Looking at my chart really quickly, looking at Bitcoin, I want to see it come back and hit 27 and then go ahead and say, okay, we're going to confirm that support for this cycle and make a move higher. But you've seen there's just so many more days in these last two supports than we're at now. Doesn't mean we have to go that distance, but it would probably be more in line with the pattern to do so. So unfortunately, it's going to be a slow bleed, I think.
Nothing happens fast, especially here recently, except for the XRP price. Guys, it's going to be a very slow, painstaking trip down to 27,000. I do believe that's where we bounce. I do believe we stay above that blue or ascending line that now it seems like almost every single Bitcoin technical analyst has. That does not mean down the road that I don't think we're revisiting 25. I just think for now, this most recent dip, we're looking at about 27,000 over the next couple of weeks, then still rallying up to those mid $30,000 levels before a bigger crash coming later. Of course, that having more to do with the economy continuing to struggle. You want further confirmation of that? Jim Cramer put out a tweet, I don't know if it was this morning or last night, saying, wow, we've avoided a recession. This is very bullish for the markets. So now it's official. We're going to have a recession coming soon. We just don't know exactly when. But with that said, T-Shroom, it is time to jump into our headlines and start some debates. We're going to start a fire here in Investing Bros channel. I want to make sure people understand before this happens, I love T-Shroom. I'm assuming T-Shroom loves me, but I hate his takes. I hate his thoughts this morning, and we're going to fight. And that's how it's going to go.
All right. Well, the gloves are coming off here. We're going to get started with something we didn't have too much disagreement on, just to kind of get it out of the way, because it is also pretty big news. SEC appeal, not a setback for Ripple XRP ruling, crypto lawyer says. But the headline here is that the SEC is going to go ahead and appeal. At least they've kind of nodded to that. We've got Gary Gensler, came out on Friday and kind of made that claim that they disagree with the ruling from Judge Torres. So again, I think Tim and I, they're not too much really controversy here.
No,
But Tim
not
and I
there.
would be in agreement here. This would be a bearish story for crypto. And
Mhm.
you could say that this may be some explanation of why we're seeing a move lower for Bitcoin, but I don't know.
I think the other thing is we debated if they were going to do it or not, but even though we didn't know if they were going to go through it or not, we both said I think that we don't expect them to win this appeal. Barring if they win this appeal, T-Shrim, I want to hear, maybe this starts the debate. If they win this appeal, do you believe that that's confirmation that they bought a judge, the SEC?
Ooh, I don't. I don't know. I don't ever like to say that someone has bought a judge.
All right, here
Just
we go. The debate starting. I think it is. I think if they win the appeal, I would very much like to see investigations into the relationship between Gary Gensler, the SEC, and whoever the judge is that would rule that way. Otherwise, I think judges are going to stay on the precedence that was set. There's really no reason to overturn it other than Gary Gensler had his feelings hurt. I believe the appeal will fail. What's interesting to see is with them, if they're going to appeal that, for a fact XRP and Ripple are going to appeal the things that they lost. So I don't think the XRP is going to be fudded out too much, and I don't think we're going to see new lows, but it could be an interesting next couple of months for Ripple and XRP because this wild story isn't over just yet.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Crypto Billy said, "Yeah, when government pays for attorneys, expect them to go all the way."
Mm-hmm.
So that, and then also Enoch Sosh said, XRP case going to the Supreme Court. So this appeal.
Sofa King says they have not appealed, so maybe that's an important distinction. Maybe they haven't done it yet, but it is looking. Sofa King, maybe you know something we don't know. It is very much looking like they're going to appeal based off the comments
looks like
of Gary Gensler. But I don't. Is it official that they've appealed yet? Because Sofa King is saying it's not official yet.
To be determined.
Yeah, we'll let you guys know. That small point. We'll see how that is, and we'll update you guys as that goes. Let's move on to the next story here, T-Shroom.
Yep, absolutely. Let's do it. All right, well, here we go. We're going to get into kind of the thick boy here. Crypto exchanges line up. They're lining up, folks, to list WorldCoin's newly launched WLD token. There's a lot of debate here. WorldCoin beta participants who receive WLD tokens can also deposit their tokens on Binance, which enables this feature earlier today. Okay, that's good. Additionally, the exchange also plans to support leverage trading for WLD. Okay, great. So there's a lot of information about this WLD token. WorldCoin is a cryptocurrency project founded by Sam Altman. Maybe you've heard of him. If you haven't, he is the co-founder and creator of ChatGPT, and the company behind that is OpenAI. We will be referring to that a lot during this debate, so make sure you're in on that. Sam Altman equals leader of OpenAI. And it is a decentralized identity and payment protocol that authenticates users by scanning their eyes. So they're lining up and getting their eyes scanned, and this is happening all over the world. So you can actually see there's these orbs that people go check out, and so you can see pictures of them here. These people are getting their eyes scanned. This guy might actually be getting his eyes scanned right then, and so it validates. It's a place you have to go to get your identity validated. You can't just do it on your phone. But then you're in the system. Then your identity is linked in the blockchain. I don't know exactly what blockchain it is specifically, if it's got its own WorldCoin blockchain or if it's on Optimism, which is where you can buy it on MetaMask. But yeah, so let's get into a little bit of kind of their mission statement, Tim. You don't feel like I'm kind of stacking the argument against you yet, right? I'm just trying to give
not
a
at all.
little bit of a
I think-
debrief here.
I think everything you have said is going to point in my favor 100%.
All right. So this is their website homepage. So WorldCoin.org co-founder letter. So this is from Sam himself, I believe. If successful, we believe WorldCoin could drastically increase economic opportunity, scale a reliable solution for distinguishing humans from AI online while preserving privacy, enable global democratic processes, and eventually show a potential path to AI-funded UBI. So there's something that I'm sure everybody can agree with. Just kidding. WorldCoin consists of a privacy-preserving digital identity and where laws allow a digital currency received simply for being human. We hope that where the rules are less clear, such as the United States, steps will be taken so more people can benefit from both. And there's a lot more information. It kind of gets into that orb system, how you go verify your biometric data, and you receive a world ID. So, Tim, why don't we go ahead and start the debate here? Should people go run out and buy WorldCoin?
No, you should not run out and buy WorldCoin. Let's start off with some easy, low-hanging fruit. The coin is called WorldCoin.
Okay.
What do you think that there at some point will be some form of a connection with? The World Economic Forum. What does the World Economic Forum want to do? It wants to control and police every single individual out there on the planet so that they can continue their domain of control. Now, you might say, hey, don't they already kind of have information this? Like in this coin, it's going to be able to track, it's going to be able to be your voter. You can use this to vote. You can use this to bank. You can use this. It can track your identity so that it can better associate who's going to get aid. So like if you are poor and you do this, they will be able to track and know who you are. So it's going to direct that money to you very, very nicely. You might say that they already have a way, the government does, of tracking where you are, being able to shut down your bank account, being able to control your every move. And the answer to that is, yeah, currently as it stands, without blockchain technology being involved, things like WorldCoin, the government can do a lot of things to suppress civilians. But here's the problem. At the moment, it is very expensive. For them to track every single individual, especially ones like me and T Shroom, who are not that high on the radar, that is an expensive task to come in and violate our privacy and go into our bank accounts and know where we are. And so for that reason, the government does not do that with majority of people. They have their select targets they go after. Things like WorldCoin will make it cheaper, easier, and more efficient for the government to control, to spy, to manipulate every single one of you. Also, Sam Altman, let's start to get a little more advanced here. Sam Altman, the creator, co-founder, and CEO of OpenAI, aka ChatGPT. Yes, he made it with Elon Musk, but then he went against Elon Musk. While it was created to be decentralized, he decided to centralize it and sell it to Microsoft, to sell it to use cases of the government. And this is one of the things that sparked a debate between me and T Shroom. I am not trying to advocate and say that the Chinese government is good here, but when the Chinese government says we are going to not allow our citizens to use ChatGPT because of its propaganda, it makes you have to open your eyes and start to think about something, because China absolutely manipulates their people. My point here is not saying just because China says propaganda is happening that we shouldn't listen to it. Maybe they are trying to say, oh, we just don't like that there's truth there. The fact is, how many of us know for a fact that there is propaganda happening with ChatGPT? There is clear political motivation in ChatGPT. There is clear woke motivation in ChatGPT. Sam Altman is not a fan of centralization or decentralization. Sam Altman is a fan of profit. And what's the way to make the most profit? Sell these amazing technological advancements to the government or to centralized entities that can control and manipulate people. When we're looking at a coin by Sam Altman being responsible for your money, for tracking your identity, for tracking what your ability to vote is, there's not a single bit of my being that trusts Sam Altman or this WorldCoin. This is not something that I would buy personally. This is not something I would invest in. To me, this is a very clear danger sign, and there's nothing I can do to stop it. I just want people to know, if you think this is a good thing, you are vastly mistaken. But of course, T Shroom's going to say it is, so I want to hear his case.
All right. So to be honest, guys, I have a much more neutral position on this officially, but to kind of play the game here.
Yeah, let's play the game.
To steel wall the argument. That's not the right word. Steel man the argument that you should go run out and buy this coin and start tweeting that you're unabashedly in support of it. That's the position that I'll take here, somewhat synthetically. But at the end of the day, look, like this system, the WorldCoin system that they're trying to bring in, is not a new system. It's an alternative to the existing system that already does everything that Tim just described, right? In combination with Apple, right? The corporation Apple and the US government, pretty much everything you just said is exactly the same. Only you're scanning an eyeball versus a thumbprint, right? Apple has had everybody's thumbprint because the iPhone 8, right? What that whole phase was all thumbprint, right? And now they have your facial scan along with Snapchat. And so if you don't think that the government hasn't gotten access to those that biometric data from Apple, then why would they try to get it from Sam Altman? Like, what's the difference? And I think absolutely that in cases where the CIA is trying to find criminals, Apple has more than likely, kind of indulged whatever agency is come after that data. So, and by the way, I think it's probably fairly minimal. I think you'd probably be surprised how much data Apple has actually given the government or other governments to say, hey, this is the identity of this person you're looking for. I think that they have been fairly restrictive with what they give out. With that said, they do have a giant database of everybody's biometric data. Apple does, and multiple other companies, and companies you've never heard of, so around the world. So I think that that system that you're describing already exists. What WorldCoin is doing is saying, hey, let's make an alternative system, and it is decentralized. You said that Sam Altman isn't a fan of decentralization. Well, then why is he making a decentralized coin? I guess that would be kind of the narrowest question that I would say.
Arkham.
So Arkham. Do you think that WorldCoin is just another Arkham, pretty much full stop? You think that that's the potential of what we're seeing here?
Hey, you said it, T-Sham.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you coughed it, I will say. I will note. So the idea did not originate with me. It originated with your cough, which is fine. So ultimately, I mean, that's my argument is that it is decentralized. That's the one thing I would disagree that's inaccurate about your statement is that it's that
so
it
just
is
because they write a white paper that uses the word decentralized, that makes it decentralized?
It's true. It's true that they could just be completely lying and there's an easy backdoor.
Yeah. And you want to know why you can assume that they're lying, T-Shroom? Because when ChatGPT and OpenAI were created, that too was created to be decentralized until it had profitability to it, and they sold it to Microsoft. And now it's the farthest thing from decentralized. So there's a thing that says here, when a person, if you fool me once, shame on you. You fool me twice, shame on me.
Okay.
Sam Altman has already fooled us once. Shame on him.
Specifically with what?
With ChatGPT, with everything it was supposed to be and created to be in the decentralized world.
What Elon funded it to be. But the thing is,
Elon, hold on. Elon made a very big deal about how betrayed he felt by Sam Altman.
Right.
Elon Musk does not trust Sam Altman with a 10-foot pole, and he's worked with the man. He knows that Sam Altman is a liar. He knows that Sam Altman is only about money. He knows that Sam Altman is not a fan of decentralization. So again, fool me once, shame on you, Sam. But fool me twice, that's shame on me. Yeah. If you trust Sam Altman, fool on you. Like, that's you. That's your bad at this point. Sam Altman is not a fan of decentralization, and he's proved it.
So Tim, you're taking a pretty hard position against Sam Altman. I'm not going out and saying that he's the second coming of Christ. That's for sure, right? He's not he's not without blemish. I don't think. But if you want a more nuanced take, he was on the Lex Fridman podcast within at least this year. I think it was in like March. So you can go listen to and kind of hear how his heart beats and like what kind of motivates him. Lex does ask some pretty prying questions in the world of AI. And the biggest thing that I have against Sam Altman is that he did not. A lot of ChatGPT's technology is not open source, whereas Alpaca, the system that Facebook is developing, is open source, and some of the other AIs are open source. But the elephant in the room with all of this AI talk is actually Google, which is up today, leading the market. But the thing is that Elon Musk's initial fear was that Google would be doing a lot of the dystopic things that you're describing, Tim. And so that's why he actually funded OpenAI with multiple hundreds of millions of dollars, I believe. And then when things did not go exactly the way he wanted, he they went their separate ways.
Well,
And I
no,
do
no, hold
think
on, real
that,
quick.
and now Elon
When you
has,
say, hold on, T-shirt, when you say things did not go the way he wanted, the things that didn't go the way he wanted was the level of decentralization, decentralization happened with the sale to Microsoft and having Microsoft now fully control what actually goes in and gets taken out of ChatGPT.
well, it's not that
Is
simple.
that is the exact opposite of what Elon Musk funded, and that's why he removed his partnership from the group.
Okay, so what I will concede is that Elon Musk, as it stands, does not approve of the current,
Yeah,
relationship between OpenAI as he initially funded it and the vision for it initially, and its relationship with the establishment, right, and specifically with Microsoft, which very clearly is an embodiment of the corporate establishment. With that said, that doesn't mean that it's an unethical relationship at this point, from my perspective. I think that the relationship with Microsoft that that OpenAI has is actually somewhat productive, right? And it's not the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario would be something where OpenAI probably didn't pair with a larger organization. Because what are the benefits of Microsoft owning it? Well, there is increased transparency. You have a bunch of people working at Microsoft that can now see into what is going on. And unless all of the people working at Microsoft who have that access are compromised morally and ethically, then you have more eyes to see, okay, this is an an unacceptable level of censorship or like what you're claiming, Tim, or political bias that could lead to propaganda. And so far that hasn't really happened. Now Microsoft has a profit motivation of doing that, but I would say that is a better relationship, a better situation than OpenAI remaining private and unopen sourced, so that it and profit seeking. But it has been a nonprofit the whole time, remains a nonprofit even in custody of Microsoft, and that part is the part that I don't fully understand. Just to be honest with you,
it's just a way to try to stay as positive as possible while they pop out their propaganda, their very clear woke agenda, very clear leftist agenda. And here's the thing: we have to close this one out because I think there's one other story at least that we wanted to discuss, and we only have like 4 minutes left at this point. Mark my words. This is one of the cool things about where we are in the world now. Information gets out and truth is revealed, whether they want to suppress it or not, within the next couple of years. I'll give it 2 years just to be safe. I guarantee within 2 years, T-Shroom, we are going to have a show discussing all of the corruption and evilness behind WorldCoin, because it will get exposed. And even if we can't confirm all of the motives right now, mark my words, you heard it here first. We will be exposing WorldCoin very, very soon. Let's move on to the next story.
Okay. All right. Taking a look here at the next story, we've got Dogecoin rising after Twitter's rebranding and Bitcoin slides to 29K. So Elon Musk, owner of Twitter, maybe you've heard of him, he's in a process of rebranding to X, a part of his official intelligence-focused group of companies called X.AI. A company that we all love and trust, has earned our trust. Musk added Dogecoin's ticker logo to his bio early on Monday, spurring speculation of Dogecoin playing a bigger role in the rebranding company. Meanwhile, some 30 million worth of longs, over 96% of all leverage future positions, were liquidated in a single hour on Bitcoin tracked futures, which may have contributed to the sudden decline. So there's a little insight too into some price movement. But Tim, what do you think about this? Do you think that Doge is going to have its huge moment? Is this the moment that we've been waiting for, where Elon will come out and say, oh, and by the way, this giant financial plan that we have to process 50% of the world's financial transactions, or something like that, that all that's going to be underpinned by Doge, and Doge is going to be the token for that whole system? Is that what we're going to see here?
Doge will get a head start for sure, but we talked about this a little beforehand. I guess, there was another debate. We're not going to have any more debate, I think, for today. Maybe we'll save it for tomorrow. But we were talking about this a little beforehand. There's a lot of unknowns here, but if he's going to actually have a hope of accomplishing this 50% of global financial transactions, he's going to have massive exposure to a lot of different things, not just dollar, the British pound, the Chinese yuan, the euro, name your fiat currency, and then upcoming what the CBDCs are that apply to those those dollars or monies. Then he's also going to have to be pretty wide when it comes to crypto. So you're going to see Bitcoin, you're going to see Ethereum, you're going to see Cardano, you're going to see all the big players for sure. I do think there's a level of he cuts off and he doesn't allow meme coins other than Dogecoin. I think there's a level that makes sense. He's going to take the biggest ones. But again, if he wants to accomplish 50%, this will not allow Dogecoin to have its own little special place that no other crypto can touch, like what it kind of is right now. This plan has to include incorporating every large source of money out there if this goal is intact. And that's what Elon says. He says it will hit 50% if everything goes according to plan. Well, he hasn't really revealed what that plan is, because we all know that if he did reveal what it was, very shortly behind, Facebook and Meta would be trying to copycat it. So he's definitely playing his information close to his chest, which is a very wise thing to do if you're Elon. We just don't know what it is. And I'm interested to see what that would look like. I can't wrap my head around all of my money being transacted through X at the moment. But of course, if we're being honest, guys, back up 5 years, would you have predicted that our world is operating the way it's operating right now? Things change drastically very fast. And if there's any human in this world that it's really hard to bet against, Elon Musk is that person. So we'll have to wait and see how this looks. But T-Shroom, any other thoughts you have? Is there anything you can imagine he would do that would make this work out?
Yeah. I mean, this is the next step, right? And it's interesting that this comes out on the same day that WorldCoin is announced, because these have similar objectives, right? It's to be an alternative banking system, which, Ethereum has already pioneered quite a bit of being an alternative banking system. That's a lot of what crypto is in general, decentralized finances in general, right? But these are platforms that could potentially onboard mass adoption, where Ethereum has, I wouldn't say failed, but has really lagged in that regard. X, which is Twitter, and WorldCoin, which has strong associations with one of the biggest companies in the world, Microsoft, through OpenAI. These both have giant potential for on-ramps for the masses, right? So as you see, and then also what also happened last week was the FedNow systems being released, which is kind of the establishment system, the non-alternative, the current winner, right? The current leader of global payments and global ID that's attached to your social security number if you're in the United States, American citizen. So I think all of these are coming out at the same time. X and WorldCoin are kind of the new kids on the block, but Ethereum's been around, XRP's been around. There's a lot of different coins that have similar aspirations, like Tron and other ones, and Bitcoin to some extent. But Bitcoin's kind of almost just an independent currency. It's not trying to be a bank in the same way that some of these other ones are trying to provide some of those services. So that's kind of my take, and I think that X has a really great chance at doing this, because they can pop up ads on all of everybody's Twitter accounts and say, "Hey, you want to join bank? Get free $20 when you join X bank," right? So I think there's a lot of potential for that.
Well, we'll have to continue this thought. Again, there's a lot of more information that's going to be coming out about X in the next couple of days, so we will keep you guys posted. I will be watching with my popcorn in hand, even though I don't really like popcorn that much.
I love popcorn.
To see what else happened. Yeah, one more thing that we disagree about.
People who don't like popcorn, you got to worry about them.
Yeah, you got to worry about them. Okay. All right. Well, guys, that is all we have for you in this episode. Once again, guys, we're what is this? 22 likes away from hitting 150, and tomorrow I will be able to gift 2 memberships. So there's right now 140 people watching. I guesstimate there's probably 60 to 70 people who have not smashed that like button yet. Before the live stream ends, which means you technically have probably about 30 seconds to a minute, you can still get us to 150 likes and get 2 free memberships gifted tomorrow for that bro time tomorrow afternoon. With that said, though, guys, we will see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are the Investing Bros. You guys have a great day.
Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots, stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor, the TA. Shout it out loud on the PA. T-Shroom's news got the word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. tryna make paper. Turn that better to cake. Money like Lego. Connect the dots, stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.